of limited love. I mean, you deserve more if you need more. So let's stop going to the same fountain when we're going to get the same water. Now, I have been in a couple of long distance, sorry, not long distance, long term relationships, actually, three. And I had to leave those fountains because they were not giving me what they said they were going to give to me and bring to the table. Now, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but there was an agreement there of give and take, and a certain things that were agreed upon. And if you're not going to bring it to the table, well, then all bets are off. That's how I see it. I deserve to be loved and cared for and get the attention that I need in certain ways that was agreed upon. I don't care if that's a personal relationship, it could be a job. Okay, it's not love, but it's respect. And I expect to be respected in certain ways. Now, yes, everything's a give and take. I'm not perfect. Someone else, no one's perfect. Neither is a job the perfect fit all the time for you. But there is a level of understanding when you enter into an agreement. And if that agreement is not being fulfilled on both sides, then it's not an agreement. You can't have one person that wants to hang on and the other doesn't want to. In that case, it's broken. But sometimes when we want love and attention, we stay in something because, oh, we've put in this amount of time into it, or I know their habits, they know my habits. Oh my goodness, what's it going to look like if I don't have the financial things that I'm receiving right now in that relationship or job? And I want that more than I want love, respect, and attention. And if you don't want to hear that, then you probably turn me off right now. Because if no one wants to have that love, respect, and attention, then you're listening to the wrong person. Because I expect to give that to someone else, and I expect that back in return. Now, sometimes we don't do these things. We kind of fall short of receiving and giving the love that is expected when we come together with someone else because of low self-esteem, or we're afraid to be alone. We just lack awareness. Sometimes we don't really realize what it is we really need. Or sometimes we'll take something in the place of something we need, and that will hold on to that for a while. Could be like a physical thing that will make up for a lack of emotional attention, or vice versa. But once you're doing that, once you're putting things in place of things that you need, it's just a matter of time, because you're accepting less than you need. And that's just really unhealthy. In the end, you are alone. In the end, you are not living your awareness. And that's why for this last part of the people pleasing, I want to talk about just breaking the chains of not having enough love for yourself, and in return for the other person too. Because, like I said, if one person is not giving the love and attention that really this relationship deserves, then the other one isn't able to fulfill it either. So you may think that you're kind of bellying up to the bar because you're showing up for someone, but if they're not showing up for you back, then guess what? There is no transfer of love and respect. So you're better off moving away. Just move away, back off from, remove yourself from that bar, from that table, and be honest with yourself and the other person. Because weak love, or fake, does not equal real love and respect for yourself. So I'm definitely one of those people that says, it has to be real because I'm not going to stay in something if it's fake. And I think everyone deserves that level of honesty with themselves and with the other people in their lives, and showing even our children. And it's hard sometimes to show our children that we're not here just to fake it and please someone else because they're more comfortable staying in the situation. Sorry, because it's more comfortable for them than the alternative, which is the unknown. And I think as a community, yeah, it's great if your background and your situation where it can be really long term, whether it's a 20, 30 year long year long job or marriage, just relationship. But you're better off having it be 5 years if it's truly something that is equal in love and abundance. And that's what you can share in the community and show your children and others around you that's what comes out of this relationship, this commitment. And if someone says, oh, well, you made a promise in front of God. Well, you know what? Sorry. Sometimes people that don't even believe in God will say that remark. And sometimes you make a promise, whether it's a job or commitment to another person, where you're just like, okay, but you made this verbal agreement and you have something different. You both have something different in your hearts that you promised to God, or one promised to God and one did not. So there's so many different variations. And I always say you can't judge. But what's most important is that you're honest with yourself. Because if you're not honest with yourself, I'll go back to it, you will continue to have lowest self-esteem. You will continue to feel anxious. You'll continue to just feel unrooted and less than. And that will get stronger and stronger and dwindle away your self-esteem in time. The longer you stay in something that's not, it's not fully you, that you can't fully show up as and grow into. So if you are in a place where it's not healthy for you, then guess what? In all honesty, it's not healthy for the others around you either. Now, last week, I spoke about unlocking your personal rhythm and to stop mirroring, but start flowing in your own rhythm. Love is the same way. You can either get stuck somewhere because love is a verb and it needs that momentum. It needs that flow. Because when you stop exercising that verb love, then it will get stagnant and it becomes a chain because it's just something that's stagnant that you're not exercising in, and it's not really love. And any plant, anything that grows needs that watering, that exercising, that flow. Anything that's living has a flow to it. So sometimes we just need to break that chain and to reroot and grow again. Now, this people pleasing, now that we're wrapping up this part, this is all internal. It's a lot of internal parts of ourselves. And the winter mindset reset was also a lot of internal processing of ourselves and what we listening to our own voices, blocking out the noise, and looking at our own essence. And then we had our people pleasing. Next, what I'd like to do is I would like to move more into the external, and how we get from the internal to the external, recreating our lives and feeling much more at peace with ourselves and our lives, and bringing forth who we are out into the world. And I'm going to be doing that in September, and I'm going to do that in yet another form. Um, and I'm going to be doing it as a Eventbrite, a community workshop, and I'll explain more about that later on. Over the next couple months, I'll put something out over it. Now, in July, I will be actually working a lot on my new refreshing my keynote. And August, I will be going out to Wyoming. I don't know if anyone here has been to Sturgis, but I'm going to go out and to just ride all around Wyoming and around Sturgis in August. So I'll be putting together a lot of ideas in my head, as well as what I've already formatted for September's workshops, community workshops. And I hope you'll join me. I also want to ask if there is something that I've spoken about in the past that you would like me to bring into that, or if you have questions and things that you want to hear about, and kind of bringing everything from internal to external. Anything you struggle with, or any topics that I've spoken on, I'd love to hear any of your input so I can make sure it gets into that community workshop. And I invite you to join me there. I'll have a certain structure, but it's going to start off free, just like everything else I've done. And I would just love to hear from you about what your ideas are, what you like that I've spoken about, like I said, what extra things you'd like to hear about in that format. I just think it'll be a little more personal too, because we can have more back and forth. The lives are great, but not everyone's on the same time schedule. And I'll be posting things like I am right now, maybe some live things on the road, short, but they won't be in this like in a series like this. But I really wish you all very well in your summer trips and your love of the outdoors and of your families. And remember to take time for yourself, appreciate who you are, and make up new maps of what you want your life to be like for the next year. And that's, of course, coming into the externals or things that I'll talk about. But go back, see some of the other series that I've done, give some feedback, and I hope to see you in my workshops in September. And I'll be posting little bits as we get closer to September. But I know everyone's on vacation, the kids are out, so enjoy your loved ones. Your children are special, and your friends and your community. So I wish you well, and peace out.